Hey, it's me, GV, and welcome to GV Guides. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a guide for Chapter 4, The Trials Backstage Drama, which is the second level in Chapter 4. All right, this one was a little bit confusing because there's so much going on, but we only have one area to explore. So it's not that bad, but yeah, it took me a little bit here. Let's start with the names. So Regina Littlemore, a lot of these are found from this guy's list of people here in order of the contestants for this show that's going on. So a lot of these things can kind of be put together by, going through the times in your head of like who went when. In terms of the order of performances. So if we, talk to her, if we listen to her, she says, first a record, then a surprise act. So we know she was not first, for instance, right? And then, there's basically only two women here, right? Nola Rockow and Regina Littlemore. So I think just looking at the order of performances, you can kind of figure out who's who in that way. I'm not even sure if they're really referred to specifically by anybody. I think it just it goes off of, the order of the performances. This is the host, Dante Longo, because if we take a look at the previous winners bulletin board, you can see your host, Dante Longo, and he's kind of in the middle here, and he says, if you have a problem, take it up with the producer. So we know that that's Dante Longo. We know the producer is Mitchell Bergen because Dante refers to him as Mitchell, and then also if we take a look at the producer's camera, it says Mitchell Bergen. So we know that that's going to be Mitchell Bergen. As far as Jamie Albright, I think if we look at, this guy looks like PewDiePie, by the way. If we look at, the producer, he says Jamie would have stolen the show if he could have used knives. And then I think if you do process of elimination by looking at everybody and what their act is, we know the only one that can be the juggler is Jamie, which would make sense because he would juggle knives, right? So then if we take a look at this list, Lily was a no-show till the Jugglers act, and that also confirms that this is Jamie because he says a bunny ran on stage during my act. So we know he is the juggler, and we know that he would use knives to juggle, right? So Jamie Albright, and then all the last names and all the full names are basically here in this list of contestants. So we see Jamie Albright. Then we know that this guy is Atharv, however the heck you say that, ready, because he's the winner. So he's got the money here, right? And then, we can see this guy say Atharv won fair and square. So we know he's the winner. And then if we look at the list, we know it's Atharv ready. Then we know that this is Vilmar Prado because I think we can tell this guy's a musician because of the music notes. And then also, his scorned lover, this lady here, she pours the orange soda into the musician's trumpet. You can see the, orange soda everywhere. And then also PewDiePie down here refers to a sticky valves situation. So I was like, oh, soda in the valves. I see. So we know that guy's Vilmar Prado. Then this guy is being referred to by this guy as Cam. So we know he's Cameron Flake from, the list of contestants. And then finally, the only thing that was confusing was Regina Littlemore and Nola Rockow. I'm not sure where they're referenced outside of the list. So again, I think you just have to go by the order of who's performing. But we know the only woman left would be Nola Rockow. So there's that. And then Mitchell Bergen, I've already talked about. So that's all of the names. Now let's go for the rankings. This one was pretty darn easy if I remember correctly, because if we look at this, we can just directly compare it. Final placements first is going to be burping recitation. And we know that's going to be the burpist because he literally was going to burp, but he switched acts to an original dance. Then we have the ventriloquist, which you can kind of put together. Meet Vlad, sounds like a ventriloquist act, but also, Cam here has a little Vlad sort of puppet. So we know that's the ventriloquist there. And then we have the juggler that came in third. We know he didn't win because the producer says, he could have won it all or whatever. And then also, I think the biggest hint here is basically the final placements, what the acts sound like. So implausible forces is kind of weird. I think that was the odd man out for me, was the juggler. But the fourth one is clearly, the ballerina, who is Regina Littlemore, because the Poppers Waltz from La Femme en Use, and then also that's the name of the record where she said, something happened with the record. So that's easy to tell that that's the ballerina. And then Howlin' Wolf Blues sounds like a music act, but also if we look at this guy, he's got a wolf tattoo, which I don't understand why this is kind of like messed up. Maybe it's just to show that he's dumb and like got a stupid tattoo. But anyways, wolf. So yeah. That shows us that that's going to be Howlin' Wolf Blues, the musician. And then finally, the remarkable Lily Bell, who Lily Bell is actually the rabbit. And yeah, it's a little red herring to think that, the magician is actually Nola Rockhow, or the name of the act is, Lily Bell or whatever. But if you put together that the rabbit is actually called Lily Bell because she is literally referring to it as Lily Bell as it runs away off camera here, we could put together that that's the magician at the final placement. So that's the names. That's the final placement puzzle. And then finally, if we take a look at the events, we have at the talent show, Cameron Flake sabotaged the act of a previous winner, Regina, whatever it is, Littlemore, by scratching a record using Mr. Vlad. So this was really tricky. Because, you basically get a note to the host from Cam getting upset at the fact that they have to go up against a previous winner. So you already know Cam is, like, upset about that. Then his Vlad has 2 teeth, right? So we know he could have used that to scratch. Plus, there's no knives. The knives is kind of a red herring. There's no knives anywhere. So, yeah, he used that to, like, mess her up by scratching the record. But also, Wolf has, like, Mr. Vlad bites, which I didn't really know how that came into play. But meanwhile, Vilmar Prado released Lily Bell from the cage to sabotage Nola Rockhow's act. In retaliation, Nola Rockhow poured a soda into the trumpet. And we can kind of tell that because she's very upset, and she says, I'll kill Vilmar for this, should have broken his bones as well as his heart. So we know that Vilmar's the one who let her rabbit out of the cage, messing up her act, and then she took the soda and poured it in his trumpet to kind of retaliate. And then after the broadcast, Regina Littlemore attacked Dante Longo, believing the show had been rigged, because she is here literally attacking him, and he says, hey, talk to the other guy, right? So, yeah, a little confusing because there's so many different things going on and so many things that are not used. The juggler's balls, the knives, why was Wolf bitten with Vlad? I don't know. Kind of a lot of different things happening there, but that is the answer to the second level in Chapter 4. As I said, we'll do the final puzzles in the final level, but we'll do a specific video for each level, so I hope that helped. Thanks so much for watching. Check out the other videos, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.